you ever been alone at night and heard something outside your door? A knock? A voice? The creak of footsteps on your porch? Maybe you told yourself it was the wind, or an animal, or just your mind playing tricks on you. I used to believe that too, until the night I got the emergency alert. Until I learned the truth. There are things outside your door that aren't supposed to be let in, and they know how to make you open it. I had just finished a long day. Work had been exhausting. My brain was fried. I wanted nothing more than to collapse onto my bed and let sleep take me. The apartment was quiet, too quiet, the way it always got at night. The kind of quiet where every little sound feels too loud, where the air itself feels heavier. I had just pulled my blankets over me when my phone vibrated. Buzz. A sharp jolt of noise in the silence. I sighed, rolling over and reaching for it, expecting some random notification. But when I saw the words on my screen, my stomach twisted. Emergency alert, do not open your door, no matter who knocks, no matter what they say. I blinked. Read it again. Who was they? I wondered again. What kind of alert was that? A joke? Some kind of weird test? My mind raced for an explanation, but before I could process it, knock, knock. I froze. The sound was soft, rhythmic, right outside my apartment door. I swallowed, my throat suddenly dry. My body locked up, every nerve screaming. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe it was just a neighbor. Then, knock, knock, louder this time. I hesitated, then slid out of bed, my bare feet pressing against the cold floor. My heart pounded against. The room felt smaller now, the air thick and still. I grabbed my phone with trembling fingers. Another message had come through. Do not answer. Do not respond. Do not acknowledge it. A chill ran through me. Then, a voice, soft, familiar. Hey, I know you're in there. My stomach lurched. I knew that voice. It was my mom's. But that was impossible. She lived 3 states away. I took a step back, gripping my phone so tightly my knuckles turned white. Knock, knock. Honey, open the door. It's me. No, it wasn't. I knew it wasn't. My breathing turned shallow. The room felt colder, the shadows stretching unnaturally across the walls. The thing outside my door shifted. I could hear it moving, slow and deliberate. Please, something's wrong. I need your help. My chest tightened. It sounded so real, so desperate, so much like her. I squeezed my eyes shut. My hands were trembling. Another message. It knows you heard it. Do not speak. Do not let it in. I bit my lip, hard enough to taste blood. Knock, knock. The voice wavered now, softer. I don't understand. Why won't you help me? A trick. It had to be a trick, didn't it? I turned, backing away from the door, trying to ignore the way my body screamed at me to move closer, to check, to help. Then, my phone buzzed violently. Do not look through the peephole. Do not check the windows. It wants you to see it. A fresh wave of terror crashed over me. It knew. It knew I had almost done it. I forced myself to turn away, my hands shaking so badly I nearly dropped my phone. Then, scraping, slow, deliberate, something dragging across the wood of my door. Then a whisper, right against the crack. You want to open it, don't you? My entire body locked up. No, I didn't. I wouldn't. But I could feel it. The urge, a wrong, unnatural pull, like an itch inside my skull. Like my hands needed to unlock the door, like my body wasn't mine anymore. I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, grounding myself in the pain. Then another buzz. It will sound like someone you know. It will know things only they would know. Ignore it, no matter what. My blood ran cold. And then, the thing outside started crying. Not just crying, sobbing, heavy gasping, broken sobs. I just want to see you. I gritted my teeth, shaking my head. No. The sobs turned into a whimper. And then, a whisper. Right against the door. Come on, sweetheart. You always open the door for me. My stomach dropped. Because it was right. I always had. But not tonight. Not this time. I squeezed my eyes shut, pressing my back against the wall, my breath coming out in short, shallow gasps. My entire body felt stiff, locked in place by something older than fear. Then, silence. A thick, unnatural silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. The kind that tells you something is still there, waiting, watching. Then, a final buzz. Then silence. A thick, unnatural silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. The kind that tells you something is still there, waiting, watching. Then, a final buzz. Do not open the door until sunrise. Do not check if it is gone. I sat there frozen, my pulse hammering against my ribs. I didn't sleep. I barely even breathed, but I didn't move. Not until the first light of dawn seeped through the blinds. Not until I heard the birds outside. Not until the clock on my phone switched to 6:45 a.m. Then, and only then, did I crawl toward the door. I pressed my palm against the wood. It was ice cold. I looked through the peephole. It was then I saw a long, dark shadow quickly running into a wall. I fell backwards, but I got the courage to come back up and check again. Nothing, just the empty hallway. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Maybe it was over. Maybe I had imagined it. Maybe. Then, a final notification. IT will try again tonight. I stared at the screen, my throat closing up, and from somewhere in the walls, a faint, distant knock, 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 and a whisper. I know you'll open it next time. The first night, I didn't open the door, but I knew it wasn't over. I barely slept. Every sound felt like a whisper, every shadow a trick of the light, but nothing came. No knocks, no voices, no sobbing, until 11:58 p.m. the next night. 2 minutes before midnight. Knock, knock. I sat up so fast, my vision blurred. My phone was already in my hand. My breath hitched as I checked the screen. Nothing. No emergency alert this time. Knock, knock. I clenched my jaw. My entire body tensed. The air felt thick again. Wrong. It even smelled like rotten meat. But I jolted at the sound that came shooting through the air. The voice. I know you're awake. My stomach twisted. I knew that voice. I knew it too well, because this time, it wasn't my mother's. It was mine. I felt the blood drain from my face. My limbs locked up. No, 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 no. The voice behind the door let out a soft, breathy laugh. You didn't open the door last time. It was me. Every word, every breath sounded exactly like me. I get it, the voice continued. You were scared. A pause. I covered my mouth with my hand, swallowing back the nausea creeping up my throat. Then the voice whispered, "But you want to see, don't you?" The thing outside shifted. I heard it press against the door, the wood creaking under its weight. You need to see. My fingers twitched. No, I didn't. I wouldn't. I squeezed my eyes shut, forcing myself to breathe through my nose, forcing my body to stay still. Then, a vibration. My phone lit up in my hand, a notification, new message from unknown. Do not react, do not listen, do not let it in. My grip tightened. Outside, the thing that sounded like me sighed. Come on, it murmured. Why are you making this so difficult? I crawled backwards, but still I didn't feel better. Suddenly, I heard more noises. Scraping, slow, deliberate, like nails dragging across the door. Then a tap, right against the peephole. I bit down on my lip, fighting the urge to scream. My phone buzzed again. New message from unknown. It will try to break you. It will use your own voice against you. My body was trembling now. The thing outside let out another soft laugh. You really think this little warning is going to save you? I sucked in a breath. Then I heard something that made my blood freeze. The door handle. It was turning, slowly, deliberately, testing. A sharp, unnatural fear shot through me, wrapping itself around my ribs, squeezing tight. No, 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 no. My phone vibrated violently in my hand. New message from unknown. Do not move. Do not make a sound. I pressed myself against the wall, forcing my breaths to slow. The handle stopped turning. For a moment there was silence, but a sound broke it. A whisper. Lower this time, right against the door frame. You think locking the door will keep me out? A pause. Then something different. A second voice, weaker, fainter, one I didn't recognize. Please help me. My breath hitched. No, that wasn't real. It wasn't real. The thing outside laughed, and then footsteps, slow, steady, fading. After that, there was no noise, just silence. A silence that stretched for minutes, then hours. I stayed frozen until the first light of morning slipped through the blinds. Only then did I finally check my phone. One last message sat on the screen. Do not leave your home after midnight. It knows where you are now. I let the phone slip from my fingers, and from the hallway, a soft, distant knock.